Hello to the chicos, hello to the chicas. Today we are going to blow my own trumpet, which is something I rarely do, but I am celebrating my highest blitz rating ever, which is 2852, which is about 150 rating points higher than where I should ever be. How I made it? Well, I suppose the key to this recently very cool and high level performance comes from what I generally do well in competitive environments, and that applies to chess as well as to other things that I do competitively, whether it be tennis, football, you name it. And that is that I tend to do really well. In fact, I do best when I play up, and the higher I play up, the better I play. And that definitely shows in chess too. And I set my um, search for games criteria in Blades to the lowest possible downward, which is minus 25 and 400 up. So I basically don't ever play down. I always play up, almost always. And as a result of that, I do enjoy. I'm getting a lot of GMs now, and I really have fun playing against them. And so that is what has landed me in this situation, and I thought that I would dedicate a video to this while it lasts, because rest assured it's not going to be a long stay north of 2800. And one of the key games that I played in this last month or so that allowed me to accomplish this rating was a victory against actually I should go back for a second to show you this. My highest rated victory ever against a 3081 player who is none other than Michael Roiz from Israel, if we can trust the flag up there. So I'm going to show you how I defeated this very highly rated the grandmaster, who was, by the way, OTB also 2600 rated plus. So definitely a very difficult opponent by any means and any standards. The opening was the let's knock my drink off the table opening, also known as the English. Now here, of course, I'm offering the opponent to play d4 and transpose into the King's Indian, or they can play d3 per game, which is going to keep the game in the quieter English defense. I played knight c6, rook b1, all of this is theory, and here my opponent really caught me off guard with his next move, which, by the way, is one of the engine's favorite moves in the position. And my limited understanding of the opening as well as the chess, I suppose, just this allows me to be able to relate to this move, because generally speaking, white wants a3, b4, b5. This is the stock standard plan. This is what I'm familiar with, and to my mind, it's best. Like, I would be very hard pressed to accept that b3 is a better move than a3, b4, because it's just a bit too vanilla. And so I went like, okay, fine, I will play rook e8, which is my modus operandi against a3 anyway. Rook e8, and b4 is not really considered to be particularly dangerous, excuse me, on account of take, and then there is a lot of trades in the center. The rook is quite active. It is meant to be playable, at least for black. And so, fine, b3, I will do the same. I played rook e8, and after h3, I played e4. So as you can see, my opponent's strategy for the time being is to avoid all kinds of confrontations and pawn exchanges, and just build up a, you know, fighting stance, if you will, and then start the game from there. A bit like aiming for a ancient style tabia. But I wasn't gonna have it. I wanted some action, and so e4, in we go. Take. Now the downside of this compared to the a3, b4 lines, and I certainly do understand that, is that c4 is not vulnerable. But on the flip side of things, white is also restricted in what they can accomplish, and they want to have access to b5. So I thought this was all good. Bishop b2, yep, fair enough. Take, queen f6, scoring a tempo on the rook. Rook d2. And I thought that my next move was absolutely mandatory. I played a4. Again, This is just an absolute knee-jerk reaction move. When you see this pawn structure and you have a rook still here, you bite into it, you take, and you have a file. At the very least. Obviously, I had to keep an eye on the various knight jumps that would expose the rook, but none of these are possible because they're capturable by the rook, and going anywhere else is just meh. He played 91 on that note, and when he played it, I underestimated this move a lot. I just thought that it was a lemon. I honestly did, which was very cocky of me. And here the engine actually wants me to play rook d4. I just thought that I would come back home and I'm golden. And after knight d3 was the first time when I actually started thinking in this game. Because I really felt that the plan of knight f4, knight d5 was very unpleasant. And I didn't really see a good way initially to deal with it. I mean, now looking at it, bishop e6 just seems to cancel it out very, very effectively. But then again, if you think about a structure where, let's say I don't know, I play a pass to demonstrate this, I wasn't super keen on this. This structural change means that I've got a backward pawn, which is now an easy subject of various kinds of piling up. And yeah, this position is bleeding. The knight is deceptive on e5. It's centralized, but I can go absolutely nowhere with it. In fact, out of the 8 squares, 2 are taken away by my pawns, and 1, 2, 3, 4 by the 5 by the white pawns. So the best I can do with it is to come back home. Not exactly what we want when we put our pieces in the center. Check out the merge. So this scared me a little bit. And so after a lengthy thought, by blitz standards at least, I decided to play the slightly quirky and somewhat extravagant, if you will, g5. And yes, I wasn't lying to you. Look at the time consumption. So I took, and this is where I took my time. So I went from 229 to 138. Now, by most blitz standards, it's unacceptable. Like, you're done. You're done the minute in a dead even position, you are done. That's it. Game is over. And in a way, I guess I should have lost this. But things happened. So my opponent played king h2. And yeah, of course, g5 was to cut out knight f4 drastically. King h2. I went, okay, I'll come in and tickle the pawn. Honestly, I would do the exact same now, even though I know that the engine is not particularly excited about it. f4. And this was the moment when I thought, ooh, okay, something is cooking here. Because now I have g4, which I thought was very good and annoying. Right? They don't really want to take this, because after bishop takes, the pawn is pinned, this check is on the horizon, knight d4, knight. All of a sudden, black's pieces are all perfectly well placed. Right? And so he played h4. And at this point, I'm like, oh, baby, that e-pawn is not moving anymore. And it's not even the best move. This is just the irony of chess, that queen c3 going after the b3 pawn was better. But at this point, I already had ideas of wreaking havoc on the king side. And so rook e3 played, c5 played, which is the move they should have played about 2 moves ago, when I played rook a3, and knight e4. Because, put your pieces in the center, friends. Now, e2 is under pressure. And by now, I saw the tactic that I was going for. And I was very excited. You can also tell that the opponent is in a degree of discomfort, because he's catching up in time usage to me. He played takes d6, and that was what I really wanted to happen. Because here I geared up for an idea with knight d4, which I thought was really, really great. I didn't have enough time to calculate it, so it was more of a judging my gut than anything else. But we went for it, ladies and gentlemen, because if you want to beat a 3100 or very close to that, you have to pull off some brilliances. The idea is quite simple. After takes check, the king can't take this because it's gonna be mating very few. And so they have to go back. It makes no difference which way they go because after queen h4 the king can't run. So they opted to go h2, check, and I played g3 because I'm an idiot. I got so excited about all of this that I forgot that in fact knight e3 was the primary threat. And this is terminal because now if the queen goes anywhere, then g3 is essentially mate. So in contrast to the game, here I go check. Sorry, that's mate already. Where am I going here even? Nowhere. I mean, I can throw in some bishop h3 nonsense and rook f2 nonsense, but it's gonna be mate. Yeah, check, check, and this is it. Oh, I didn't even see this. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, that. Now, that would have been a hell of a finish. Phone call to Kramnik right away after this game, right? But I missed this entirely, the knight e3 idea, and I played g3. And now after rook f3, I don't have knight e3 anymore. So now I had to win the game again. So I went check, and I went knight h4. Now we are threatening this, Rook b2, very bad. Knight e1 was their only move, where I thought that I had mate. With queen h1 mate next. But this is an illusion because they have rook g3. And it turns out that there is no mate here. Incredibly enough. I'm still winning, but I would have probably failed to convert this with the limited time. Luckily they played rook b2, and I lost the plot here too, because now queen g2 is a very easy win. Actually, let's turn it into a puzzle. Black to move and win. Off you go. I was absolutely unaware of this idea because I was madly looking for mates. And so the cheeky rook a1 is just not on the horizon for many. And that's it. Takes, check, picks up the queen. Absolutely sensational tactic. So instead of that, I went bishop h3. Because again, I'm hoping for mate. And I'm also hoping for mate. Alright? But I'm forcing the opponent to play the correct move, which I always teach to not to do. Although rook g3 was good again. Yeah, because the king can run. They went king e1. Here. Rook e3. And I'm still winning. But now it's quite difficult and I have 40 seconds left. King d2. Bishop c6. I was very proud of this move. The idea is to cover the check. But also to open up the second rank. So that we have got knight f3. Potentially available if need be, which I then can follow up with some pawn match and get a new queen. So queen e1 played, but this walked headfirst into knight f3. Take, king c3, bishop e4, removing the bishop from hanging, g2, g1 is the threat, king b4. I played this part of the game decently. g2, this was a really cool move that I saw, that it forces rook b1, which then allows my rook to go to a2, retaining a very aggressive posture on a2 rather than having to come back. Rook c1, and this was another, oh yeah, very cheeky move that I played here. Queen a5, h5, going after the king, although I didn't see a mate, which really upset me. I was like, where is my mate? I thought that this was mate. And then I'm like, surely there is a mate after king c4. And I still think that there isn't one. Like if I play a pass, yeah? There's no mate here. Because check here, and I don't have check here. I just should it up. But even if I didn't, rook c4 would be here. So there is no forced mate here. And I was really worried about that because I need a mate now to win. I've got 15 seconds left. He went check, check. And here I saw another cool idea, which was that I could afford king h6. Because after check per game, I can block. And now I'm threatening queen. And here he thought he was being clever because he went for this mate. But he completely overlooked this check. And this actually is a forced mate now. Queen. Now, obviously, having removed the queen from h5, queen f8 has lost its power. I can just hide, check, and this move allowed a very unique checkmate with rook c2. Well, it's kind of weird because I do need the queen, but it only covers one square in the operation. So I'm not exactly utilizing the extra firepower of the queen, but it was a very, very satisfying win. Against a very high-rated opponent. Once again, my highest ever victory on Chess.com. Definitely, I would cherish this one for a while. Although today I did beat Grandmaster Ilya Smirin as well. He was around 2900 at the time of the game. But yeah, this is definitely one. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. It was definitely a good fun. Let's see how long my stint lasts north of 2800. Don't hold your breath. And I do have a lot of cool videos lined up for the next week, 2 weeks or so. So please stay tuned. Don't forget to sub, to like, to leave a comment down below. Please do that for me. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.